Greetings, legendary readers. Welcome back to Larry's Legendary Library, where I like to read, collect, and talk about science fiction, fantasy, and other bits and bobs. Today is Magazine Monday, and we'll be looking at this issue, Volume 1, Issue 2 of Worlds of Fantasy, published in September 1970. This magazine is has only 4 issues, and it was just a short run magazine. It didn't really ever take off. The stories in it are certainly worth reading. There's some big name authors in here, some lesser known authors. If you happen to see one somewhere at auction or as part of a lot, it's probably worth picking up. You can pick them up on eBay for about $10 an issue, which is more than I like to pay. But anyway, we're going to look at 3 stories in this issue. The Crayfish by Helen Arvonen, Gothic Mystery on the Shores of Lake Superior, Call Me Million by Frederik Pohl, a compact story with a vampire twist, and then Last Night and Every Night by James Tiptree Jr., gritty crime story meets afterlife horror. Let's get started. There's our magazine and our first story, The Crayfish by Helen Arvonen. You may not recognize this name. I certainly did not. I had to research it. She was a Canadian author known for Gothic and regional mysteries. The story is set on the shores of Lake Superior, where the lake itself is kind of creepy and almost as if it's another character in the story. Our story begins with our narrator, who is retired, and then a friend begins confiding in her about a troubled young woman named Jane. Jane is damaged by a past trauma that is specified in the story, and she is also obsessed with crayfish. Yes, the actual shellfish. Her behavior tends to mirror the creature that she is fascinated with, hiding in a shell, avoiding the world, maybe even transforming. Arvonen plays it perfectly ambiguous. You're not entirely sure what's taking place. Is this just a psychological breakdown, or is it something far more stranger and more literal lurking in this cold, dark water? The atmosphere is moody, and the ending leaves you chilled, and not just from the frigid lake water. Perhaps of the 3 stories I read, this one I enjoyed the most. I rated it L4 loaded. It's well worth reading. Next is Frederik Pohl, Call Me Million. It is a short little bit of horror. Under 2,000 words, Pohl gives us a narrator who is not just human in the usual sense. He drains life from others. And the hook comes when he realizes that he is not alone, that there are others that are doing the same thing, and that changes the game. What happens when 2 of these kind of creatures meet up? So with Frederik Pohl's smooth style, it's I rate it as an L3. It's legit. It is worth reading. And then last but not least, we have Last Night and Every Night by James Tiptree Jr. It's a story that starts out like a seedy crime story. Our character Chick is a street predator. He prowls the city at night looking for vulnerable women to deliver to a place run by a woman named Anna. For what purpose, we don't really know, but we know it's certainly bad. About halfway through, Tiptree pivots. A mysterious messenger arrives, revealing that Chick and his associates are actually dead, repurposed as agents in some sort of supernatural bureaucracy of the dead. Their job is to lure in the friendless and the lost for whatever fate awaits them upstairs. Again, we don't know specifically what that is, but it is creepy and scary. It's a brilliant shift from crime realism to what appears to be an afterlife horror. So James Tiptree Jr., last night and every night I give it a L3 legit. It is worth reading. So that is the Worlds of Fantasy #2 out of 4, a magazine that may have only lasted a few short issues, but still gave us some interesting reads. I don't know about the other issues in this short run magazine, but this issue certainly edges up the creepy meter for me. Helen Arvonen creates a moody story about a woman who wants to be a crayfish and perhaps even becomes one. James Tiptree Jr. takes us to the rainy streets, to the bureaucracy of dead in under 10 pages. And Frederik Pohl offers this creepy little vampire story. Again, if you ever get a chance, feel free to pick up a copy of this digest, especially if your sci-fi and fantasy interest take on a more creepy vibe. Until then, keep reading and stay legendary.